Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible.
So we're home, as you can see, healthy. So we're in the hospital for a quick fix, and we were supposed to be home 24 hours later. Our doctor walks in and tells me that there's something wrong. And he came in very nonchalant, saying that Grace was infected with a deadly brain infection. And as soon as he said that, I said, "Shut up." And he said, "You didn't hear me." And I said, "I heard you. Shut up." And he kept on going, and I said, "Get out." And he said, "She has a brain infection. We're going to externalize her today, and you are going to kill her if you don't." And I said, "Get out." And I included a word that wasn't very nice. And I said, "Now, don't speak death over my daughter. Get out now." And he said, "Her brain is infected. There is something wrong. She has a problem. Get out." And at that point, I had had enough. And Grace started crying, "I don't want another surgery. I don't want my brain to be bad." And I was like, "That's it. You're out of here." And so I took him outside the door, and I said, "Don't you dare speak death over my daughter. Don't you ever do that and come in here and proclaim death over her." And then I went back in there and I proclaimed life over her. And then we decided that nothing grows because she was infected with MRSA and meningitis, and it would have killed her. And we declared right then, nothing grows. I laid hands on her, and I told her, every time you have fear rise up, you're going to lay hands on yourself, Grace. Like if it was something, like if it was your sister, you lay hands on her and you declare life into her. So she just started to go like this. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, "Get the hell off my body. I send it back." She did. She sent it back, and she refused, and she said, "Nothing grows." So after I had that, I was taken back because I had doctors coming in saying I was going to kill my daughter, and I was like, no, speak life into my daughter. So it was a constant battle, and the culture was growing, and I decided that I was going to make a demand on my harvest of what I know. Growing meaning it was growing and producing infection. It was growing MRSA. It was growing meningitis. It was growing infection that was deadly. And it was taken in the OR, which is the most sterile place that it could have been taken. So it wasn't like there could have been contaminants, it was sterile. So I asked the surgeon, "This is what I want, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to retake a culture, and you're going to do that." And he did. They tapped her shunts, and they took a culture. And I said, "From this day forward, it doesn't grow." And they were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm speaking to the cultures." "You're speaking to the cultures?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm speaking to the cultures." So we spoke to the cultures, and Margie came up with SPIG, from no surgery, no pain, no infection, and no growth. It's SPIG. We're spigging it. So that was our confession, and that's what we stood on. So 24 hours later, the new culture did not grow one thing. 48 hours, nothing grew. And then the next day, they wanted to do another shunt tap because that was impossible for them to believe, and they had to retest that. So then they came back, and we did that, and then they came in and they said the original culture stopped growing, and in fact, that it reversed, and there was no MRSA anymore, and there was no infection. Which does not happen at all. So at that point, they were taking a special probe to insert into this petri dish because they want to understand why it stopped growing, which it shouldn't have stopped growing. So then they took her off of this toxic antibiotic that she was on that could have killed her, and they put her on the lesser of the two evils, and she is home, standing before us. And the big part of that was, you guys sent videos, some of you sent videos to us, and in the heat of that moment of me combating all of that negativity, that unity that came forth from my church body helped Grace and I stand even strong as a united force against all the negative stuff that was hitting us. So we appreciate that so much from you. And the fact that PC also had the word of knowledge to where I wouldn't make a rash and quick decision that to rest at the mercy seat of Christ, because it wasn't a battle to just fight and come out and go, I'm going to attack this and beat this down. It was more of like rest, and be at the mercy seat of Christ. So, and it was a perfect word. So, yes.
Awesome. Wow, bless you. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Welcome to church, she said. Welcome to church. Do you know, Michelle was also saying that when we were here praying together, remember we prayed the other night, and as we stood, it's like sometimes you're like a battle force backing up the faith of somebody who's on the front line and releasing blessing and speaking a reversal. And I remember as we stood here, Michelle, saying, we want it reversed. And that culture reversed. It stopped growing. That was it. I mean, our unison with you. Wow, that's so awesome. Thank God. Thank God. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Thank you. 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 Thank you.